Hello, my name is Triana Montoya, and I am a student in the Health Information Management program at KU. Today I will be presenting on cyber risk insurance and ethical hackers, and why they're a necessity in today's healthcare organizations. What is cyber risk insurance? Cyber risk insurance is insurance that helps healthcare organizations mitigate the risk exposure by offsetting costs involved with a cyber-related security breach. Cyber risk insurance is also known as cyber insurance policy and cyber liability insurance policy. The need for this insurance among organizations began around 2005. Healthcare organizations are not the only victims of cyber-related security breaches. Among other organizations include small businesses, banks, and credit card companies, just to name a few. Healthcare organizations might ask themselves, why have cyber risk insurance? And the reason is cyber risk insurance covers expenses related to first parties and claims made by third parties. Some common reimbursable expenses include the investigation, the organization losses, privacy and notifications, lawsuits, and extortions. An investigation is needed to determine what happened. Some of the organization's losses may include monetary losses from network downtime, business interruption, data loss recovery, costs involved in managing crisis, and reputation damages. The privacy and notification is important because data breach notifications to patients and other affected parties need to be notified. Lawsuits and extortions can get expensive because of the legal expenses associated with the release of confidential information, legal settlements, and regulatory fines. Also, cyber extortions such as ransomware. What to look for as a cyber insurance buyer? Some things to look for are to make sure it includes all the previous covered expenses, the ones we just discussed in the previous slide. Does it offer one or more types of cyber insurance policies, or is it coverage and extension to an existing policy? What are the deductibles? What does the coverage and limits apply to both first and third parties? Does the policy cover any attacks to which organization falls victim or only targeted attacks? Does the policy cover non-malicious actions taken by employees? Does the policy cover social engineering as well as network attacks? Does the policy include timeframes which coverage applies? All these are important when buying cyber insurance. What do insurance companies look for when deciding to provide coverage to these organizations? Insurance companies want to see that the organization has assessed its vulnerability to cyber attacks and follows best practices. For example, enabling defenses, controls to protect against attacks, and employee education. Threat intelligence services can include targeted attacks, hiring ethical hackers to reveal security weaknesses, threat assessments being performed regularly, and employee education may include security awareness, phishing, and social engineering. These are some practices that the insurance companies want to make sure an organization is following. Threat intelligence and ethical hacking services. These services are difficult on small organizations and large organizations. They can be financially impossible for many of them, whether it's a small or a large organization, because of the cost. Investing in vulnerability assessment tool can help a lot with improving security. Services of a penetration tester to probe external network defenses can be very beneficial. As cyber insurance becomes more standardized, insurers request an audit of an organization's process and governance as a condition for coverage. Who should have cyber insurance? And the answer is any organization that stores and maintains patient information, or collects online payments, or uses a cloud or an intelligent medical device that connects to the organization's network. Attacks against all organizations are rapidly increasing. McAfee Labs state that the number of ransomware doubled in the first quarter of 2019 compared to the previous year. According to Health and Human Services breach report by InfoSec Institute, 15 million health records have been compromised by data breaches. PHI, which stands for Personal Health Information, is more valuable on the black market than credit card credentials, or regular PII, which stands for Personally Identifiable Information. Reasons why PHI is more valuable than PII. And some reasons are personal health history cannot be changed versus credit card information and social security numbers can be changed. The health history on a patient's record cannot be changed. It stays on your record forever, versus a credit card number, you can always change it, or your social security number, that can always change. Another reason is criminals can use the PHI to target victims with frauds and scams that take advantage of the medical condition or the victim settlements. Another reason is PHI can be used to create fake insurance claims, allowing for purchase and resale of medical equipment. Anything from a wheelchair or any other medical equipment. That's just an example. Another reason is criminals can use PHI to illegally gain access to a prescription for their personal use, or to sell that prescription or that medication. Aside from cyber insurance, I will also be presenting on an ethical hacker. And what is an ethical hacker? An ethical hacker is also known as a white hat hacker. An ethical hacker is a security expert who attempts to hack into an organization's computer system, applications, network, and other computer resources to find security vulnerabilities and then fix them. What are the responsibilities of an ethical hacker? These responsibilities include scan the systems of an organization to find open ports that can be attacked. If an issue is found, they study the port and take measures to stop potential attacks. They examine patch installations to make sure they are up to date. They attempt to evade intrusion prevention systems and honeypots to ensure that all are working properly. They search deep corners of the network, rummaging through digital trash bins to find chats, passwords, and any crucial information that can make an organization vulnerable. They help handle issues related to online employee fraud and the theft of systems and laptops. They also check for sniffing networks, cracked wireless encryptions, hijacked web servers, and hijacked web applications. Once they find them, they fix them. How can you become an ethical hacker? First of all, you should have a passion for IT and this type of profession. You should have a solid knowledge of programming and networking. And you should also obtain a certified ethical hacker certification if aspiring to be a cybersecurity professional, an intrusion analyst, or a forensic analyst, just to name a few professions. How much does an ethical hacker make? They make anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a year in the 0 to 5 years in an entry-level position. They make $100,000 to $120,000 a year in the 5 to 10 year period in their mid-career, and they make $120,000 or more with it in the next 10 plus years, and if they're experienced. Why is an ethical hacker important to a healthcare organization? The healthcare industry experiences at least one cybercrime incident each month. Patient data was compromised at more than half of healthcare organizations than the previous year. Only 50% of healthcare organizations have prepared an incident response plan. 78% of these organizations suffered a data security incident related to a known vulnerability at least 3 months old. 63% of these organizations experienced downtime due to denial of service cyber attack. Healthcare organizations benefit from keeping patient data and other information secure per HIPAA regulations. Cyber risk insurance and ethical hackers are essential to healthcare organizations. Organizations need ethical hackers to prevent cyber attacks and cyber crimes. Organizations need cyber risk insurance if you do become victim of a cyber attack or a cyber crime. This is essential to continue providing care to patients and not have to close an organization due to the cost of cyber attacks, cyber crimes, and ransomware.